What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Black Sheep Family and Autism. My name is Nicole. If you're new here, and if you're new here, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and be down with the gang. All right. So, and if you are a return subscriber, appreciate you guys for subscribing. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed to this channel, that stayed with this channel and watching this channel grow.
Thank you guys
for all y'all support. And if you're new here, like I said, make sure you subscribe, hit the subscribe button. You might as well join the family. It's free. And if you don't watch, I don't know, about umpteen videos of me, clearly you like the family, so you might as well subscribe. It don't cost you $1. You ain't going into your little stimulus check, your Trump check, or none of that. So yeah. Anyway, so this video, okay, let me back up right quick. I have not been uploading for a while due to the protesting and basically what happened with George Floyd or whatever. That kind of hit home, and it didn't just hit like this have been going on in America, but it's just, I don't know, I guess the fact that everybody been quarantined and all this other stuff have been going on, and what that happened on top of it is just like, yeah. So I did stop recording. Well, I stopped uploading the videos that y'all got after he passed and stuff like that. I think y'all got 2 or 3 videos. Those were already scheduled to go up. I did not, that was not in real time. Today is, what is this? We are in June. Really don't know the date. It's June in a week, on a weekend that I'm filming this. And I also want to say in the beginning, y'all might hear the dryer in the background or the washer or whatever, because I'm filming in like the dining room and Carter room, and the washroom is right there. So yeah, there's no door to, well, the door is closed in the washroom, but it's no door to, like, right here. There's no door next to me to separate Carter room and the washroom, if that makes sense. Also, Jay and Julian is gone fishing, so that's why he's not in this video. Not to say that he won't be on like a later part of this video if he wants to get into this video and say how he feels about it, saying that he is a black man in America. Jack is here, but he's in his room watching Blaze or whatever. Hold on, y'all. Okay, so I just kind of stopped the dryer so they won't be going off, because I know y'all gonna hear it, and I might put some music on or whatever in the background to drown out any other. My bad, y'all. I think I didn't do this right. Oh my god. Okay. But I did put some, I will put some music on more than likely in the background. I don't know which, like what song that's gonna actually go with this video. But anyway, I ain't gonna say enough with the rambling, because I'm still gonna kind of ramble around before I get to topics. I have topics in my phone, so this whole video won't be like a rambly video. I want to go ahead and say now that more than likely this will be a premiere, and if you're watching this in real time, if you're subscribed to my channel, you got that bell on and stuff like that, y'all see this will be a premiere. I don't know what I'm gonna title it, because y'all know YT be with the fugazi stuff, so they might want to censor this like they censor everything else. So yeah, so this should be a premiere, and it will be an open discussion or whatever. And I want to say now, in the beginning of the video, that this will be a longer video. So if you do not like longer videos, you do not want to watch a longer video of me, go ahead and click off. It's just that simple. Go ahead and click off. Also, if you're white and racist, more than likely this will probably offend you. So you might want to go ahead and click off as well. And like I said, I don't know what I'm gonna title it, but I'm gonna try to title it somewhere in there. So yeah, you white and racist, go ahead and click off. You don't like to watch longer videos, go ahead and click off. If you're not concerned about black folks issues, black folks stuff, go ahead and click off. Like, I go ahead and say that in the beginning of the video. So what prompted me to do this video was the George Floyd incident, well, not even incident, the George Floyd murder that happened. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about I have topics, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit about how I feel about certain stuff, and how it kind of is, how I feel about certain stuff from being like a black woman in America, so to say. I'm also say right now, for the people that's here for like the regular like mommy content and stuff like that, that will still be on this channel, but seeing that I am a mommy of 2 full black kids and 2 biracial black kids, I just feel like it only makes sense to talk about it. I know I don't have a huge platform, but I'm still gonna speak about it, and like the injustices and, you know, the differences and stuff like that. I also want to put on here that I'm not, how do you say it? I'm not one of them black people that just don't like white people or whatever. I do know white people have helped us in like in history and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm just, also, I'm not one of those black people that feel like all lives matter. I feel like all lives is not dealing with what black people are dealing with. So I don't come out here with that fugazi stuff talking about some all lives matter. Even if you are black and feel like all lives matter, when did the black movement or the Black Lives Matter, when did we not say that your life didn't matter? When did we not say white people life didn't matter, Chinese people life didn't matter, or Mexican people life didn't matter? We didn't say that, but we are experiencing injustice. So we're speaking about our lives. So I'm gonna go ahead and make that clear. And I see a lot of channels, family channels that's staying away from this, family channels that's that have black kids, like girls and boys, because it's women that's getting murdered as well out here. There's just kind of not talking about it. I don't know why. I guess they don't want to offend their audience. I guess they don't want to lose their audience. But if you're going to be offended by something that I'm experiencing as a black American, I don't need you on my platform anyway. So with that being said, I also have noticed, speaking of YouTube, some influencers that are of other, that I feel like it's only talking about Black Lives Matters and going with the Black Lives movement. I feel like they're only doing it because it's trending right now and it's a thing to talk about right now, and they're really not genuine with it right now. So after all this dies down, I want y'all to still have that same energy. So with all that out the way, again, this will be a longer video. It's always somebody in the comments talking about some news 30-40-minute video and blah 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 this, blah 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 that. Don't watch. It's just that simple. Like, I'm not holding the gun to your head through the internet making you watch this video. So let me go ahead and start with my notes. And like I said, I have notes to keep me on topic. I did take a break from YouTube simply because it's a lot that's going on. It's a lot to sit here and digest. And also we got news with Jaxon. I'm gonna talk about all that on another video. I do want y'all to know that he's perfectly healthy, he's fine. But we got news about Jaxon. To actually sit here and watch on TV a black man be kneeled on, basically, it's just disgusting. It's sad, it's frightening when I have a black husband and I have 4 black boys, because I'm still gonna count Jaxon, I'm gonna count Carter as black, and I'm gonna get in there in here in a second, and my 2 youngest black boys. So yeah, and it's just saddening to see how people do not care about the black human race at all. Like, at all. It's really some people that really just do not care about the black human race. Yeah. Also, the people that was on their live, I am gonna do a story time about my sister, so that you guys know. And like I said, today I'm more than likely gonna film 2 of the videos, but I'm gonna put them out sporadically. Like, they're not gonna be back to back, so y'all know it's a different video. First thing I talked about, well, I already talked about it here, was watching a black man get killed or murdered by the police. The fact that I feel like he got this much recognition because he knew someone famous. Also because we are in the coronavirus pandemic. If y'all have noticed, we haven't heard anything else about the coronavirus since it's happened. I just the fact that it's normal to watch and it's normal, I think that is sad. Yeah, also with the police thing, I don't want to go too deep in this, and it took me a while to make this video. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I know I did a poll on YouTube saying, ask y'all, did y'all want to see another Mika, Michael, whatever the girl name, that stuff with that child with autism or this, and a lot of you guys wanted me to talk about this, but I honestly had to sit here and gather myself and come on here to be able to have topics and intellectual conversation about this topic and this matter without y'all, the whole video would just been demonetized. Just know that. But I'm gonna say far to it, that killing, obviously it rubbed me the wrong way. Obviously it affected me. Obviously it's sad. It's like one of those things that's been suppressed, and we know that this stuff goes on in America every day, but it's been suppressed. And it's one of those things that I'm a Aquarius, if y'all don't know. And stuff like that, I think, affects me harder, not only because I'm black, not only because of my zodiac sign, but I also have black kids. And to sit here and watch somebody die on the side of the street calling for his dead mother. My mother has passed as well. So, like, I feel like he knew that he was finna die. But as far as with the police officers, I feel like it should be more black officers out here. Like, if y'all want these injustices to stop, I feel like it should be more black officers. I feel like police men and women need to have some type of training, because it's sad that today in America, dang near anybody. Now, I'm not gonna sit here and stunt, because I know for a fact that Little Rock PD have training. I know it's dang near a year to be able to be a police and all that stuff. Sometimes the waiting list and all that stuff in certain cities are like, I would say Little Rock, it is strenuous, but in other cities and other states it's not. I feel like they should have training. I feel like they should have to get a certificate for that stuff. Kind of like, it's sad to see that barbers have to have more hours of training and beauticians have to have more hours of training, and somebody's supposed to enforce a law. I'm gonna leave that at that. I also fear for knowing the fact that I have a child with autism and he's black. I know that sometimes my child will not listen. Now, right now, and you can take this however you want to take this, right now Julian is at the age where he loves the police. He likes the police because he watches Paw Patrol, and if y'all don't know, Chase is a police officer. He loves the police. I fear the fact that he even liked the police, because the same people that you sit here and like and love will be the same people that will shoot you down dead, you know, and more than likely go home to their kids and have dinner and not give two fucks about you 20 minutes after they did it. So, and I'm not saying that to say that I want to sit here and instill hate in my kids for the police, because I know some good police and some bad police, but I'm just not even trying to figure out, and I would rather my child not to even have to be bothered with them or deal with them at all in life. Hopefully. So also I want to, like I said, also I'm getting into this topic. And mixed kids should know their black side. So I say that because if y'all don't know, I have two biracial kids. And this topic will cause a debate, which, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and argue with nobody in the comments. I will politely delete you, block you, and go on with my life. Continue to grow my edges, continue to sit here and build my credit. I don't care about your opinion. Like, I know everybody's opinion is not gonna be the same as mine, but for the people that's gonna be in the comments with the blatant hate and the blatant mad and all this other stuff and woo woo rah rah, like, I don't got time for that. To me, biracial kids that have black in them, because the black race is dominant, and it has been told by European scientists and white scientists and stuff like that. If you go to Egypt and you go to ancient time, you will sit here and see that we were here first. Black people sit first. So that's why when we have kids with white people, Chinese people, Asian people, whatever, the child mainly looks black because our gene is dominant. So I say that to sit here and say Carter and Crystal will always be black to me. They will always be black kids to me. And in my eyes, when I first had Carter, on his birth certificate or on some paperwork, it had black. Why? Because I was his mother. And when I asked the nurse, and because I had Carter, I was like 19 when I had Carter, so I didn't know. So I asked the nurse, because I honestly thought they would put other on there. So when I seen that it said black, I asked the lady, I said, why doesn't it say other, or just have both of them on there? And she kind of smiled. It was a white nurse, and like thought it was funny or whatever. It was like, well, anytime that a child is born with more than 10% black in them, they're considered black. So I consider my kids what everybody else consider them, and that's what I know that they're going to look like. And I also say that to say this: Carter and Crystal may be biracial with like a white father or whatever, but they look black, and people are going to treat them like they're black. They're not going to treat them like, oh well, we kind of like you and this, that. If they don't like black people, they're not gonna like my kids. Carter and Crystal and Jaxon, which is my youngest son, are the same skin tone. 2 totally different dads, the same mom, same everything. They just have 2 different dads. They are the exact, if I put all 3 of them next to each other in a picture, and if I think about it, I might insert a picture now of with them. They are the exact same skin tone. And y'all know Jaxon dad, Jaxon and Julian look just alike. Y'all know that my husband is Jaxon and Julian's dad. Julian is dark skinned like his dad. Jaxon is more so around my skin color and his older brother's and sister's skin color. And that's just kind of how black works. There's a different shades of black. Hold on, y'all. Alright, y'all. I'm already dating her 6 minutes. Not 6 minutes. 16 minutes into the video. So, Jay and Juju just got back. I'm going to try to finish filming because, you know, Jaxon and Julian finna be in there playing. Okay, back to the topic, which was at hand. Far as I feel like biracial kids should know their black history, just like they should. When they learn black history, they're gonna automatically learn white history as well. So I feel like they should know their history. They should know where they come from because they could experience some of the same injustices as their black parent. And I'm saying that just in case someone has biracial kids and they are white, I don't think that is right. I don't think it's any type of common sense to sit here and not teach your kids their black history and what's been going on with them in their life. Far as like in a, not their life, but their ancestors and what could go on now. Because after doing research, and if you go back to your history and documentary after documentary, you will sit here and learn that nothing's really have changed in America in the last 100 years, even before that, when people were protesting from Martin Luther King to Malcolm X. Nothing has changed in America at all as far as with the black people. It's just the whole history that's steady repeating itself, which is kind of what they want to do. But I do feel like it's important to, and that's if you're white still, and if you're white and still watching this video and you're not offended yet, or if you do get offended, teach your kids some of that history. Like, I know some white people will teach their kids history, like that black history and stuff like that, where they came from on both sides. To me, that's why people have common sense, but a lot of people don't. Yeah, common sense is not so common to me. And I do know that something that bothered me is when something has bothered me that my child has said that stuck with me. Like, kids know what's going on in the world. They know a lot. Kids have been going through a lot of stuff. Police had came into a situation due to my son's dad basically being a female dog. And the first thing that he said when he seen me, my son was like, dude, I thought that you went to jail, and I thought they was going to kill you if you went to jail. My child was 8 or 9 at the time. So kids know what's going on in society. They know that people are being murdered by police in jail for absolutely nothing. Enough for my child to sit here and be like, I was scared for you. I feared for your life. I know that you're black, and I know that the police, if they do want to kill you, they can kill you and they're going to get away with it, and I never would have been able to see you again. So there was a trauma that was put in my child's head from his dad. So, like, all despite of his dad, and it's sad to know that your child knows that you, and it's sad to know that your child know that we're living in that type of time where a kid is like, I thought they were going to kill you if you went to jail. Blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. And to know that someone is such the devil to even want to put you in that position. So, yeah. I'm going to go on to the next topic before I get into that story. Protesting. What do I feel about protesting? I don't feel like it's wrong that people protest. I feel like I'm glad that everybody protested, you know, globally, far as with the George Floyd situation. Because if everybody didn't protest globally, more than likely the killer of George Floyd, and like I said, if y'all didn't hear, I do have my kids here. They are in their room, they're playing. But more than likely, if people wasn't protesting, George Floyd killer would have went free. Right now when I'm filming this, I just know that he's got charged with, I think, second-degree murder. It has come out that this killer had and I'm gonna call him that because that's exactly what the hell, that's what I sat here and witnessed with my 2 eyes, and killed a man that kept saying how he could not breathe. So he has gotten charged with second-degree murder. It has came out that he had worked with Floyd, knew Floyd, and had an issue with Floyd, and they want that bumped up to first degree. From listening to the evidence of people in law, they're like second degree would be the best, because first degree you gotta prove it beyond a reasonable doubt, and depending on who the jurors are, come on. So yeah, that has came out. As far as with protesting, I feel like I said, without the protesting, he never would have got no justice. But there's a lot of other families that has not got that justice. I feel like we've been protesting, like black people, white people, people everywhere have been protesting, and nothing has changed. So to me, protesting is you just begging the government to do what they're not going to do, which is to have us equal and give us our rights and stop doing these injustices and stuff like that. I feel like how do I want to word this? I feel like that the law was made, like the amendments was made way back in the day from a bunch of white people. So right after slavery or during slavery, whatever. Like, it was made by a bunch of white people. That was not like, it was not for us. The laws and stuff like that was made for us to cripple us, but it was not made for white people. Hence why when you protest, when black people protest, I always like, whatever. Nothing gets done, nothing gets changed, none of that, right? If y'all don't recall, I know some people's memories are a little bit vague. White people can sit here and go protest with guns on their back. They can bear arms. They can march inside these governor's offices and all this stuff to demand laws get changed, demand this happen, demand that happen. If y'all don't recall, which a lot of y'all don't like to recall stuff, they were protesting for the government to reopen up the economy and reopen up basically restaurants and stuff like that. And they were protesting with guns, and guess what? It happened. Because the laws and the governments listen to them. They listen to their own. They're not gonna listen to us. They don't care about us. They like, it's been history have proven itself that they do not care about us, and they're not gonna sit here and do anything in our best interest or even in equal. So I just really feel like protesting is a waste of time until laws be changed. I don't see nothing wrong with protesting, exercising your right, exercising your amendment right. I don't see nothing wrong with protesting with bare arms, which is with guns and stuff like that. I don't see nothing wrong with that, but I just feel like we protest and beg and plead, and nothing's happening. Nothing's have ever happened from that. What have we got from that? We haven't really gotten far. If we have gotten certain things, we haven't really gotten enough, to me, to make a difference. What else was I gonna say about protesting? So, okay, I'm gonna skip down from protesting. I know it's like, rioting, looting with the protesting, but wait a second. Protesting. If you're black, really if you're anybody, but mainly if you're black, you should know who the Black Panthers are. The Black Panthers are people that protested with their bare arms and protested. And if you notice, we just did not hear nothing else about the Black Panthers or whatever. I thought I heard something. If you notice, we never heard nothing else about the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers just kind of was like, yeah, that was like back in history. Well, if you wanted to know something about the Black Panthers, it's 20 Black Panthers that are still in prison to this day. So while people like Kim Kardashian likes to, be on Blackpink and all this for the Blackpink and have black kids and this, that, and the third, with that. And she's moving for justice and this, that, and the third, and this, that, and the third. These are your kids. Alright, y'all, so I'm back. Jay keep walking in and out with all this stuff, and I know it's just gonna be a bunch of noise that I don't want on my video. So yeah, this video will be chopped up, cut up, and I'm gonna have to actually sit down and edit it. So I don't know when it's gonna go up, but like I said, I am filming it in June. I'm more than likely to get it up in June. Kim Kardashian kids are half black. Their ancestors are half black. Some of the people that sat here with the Tea Party, not the Tea Party, but the Black Panthers, are black, and they're in prison, and they're still in prison for, guess what? Peacefully protesting. They protested with their amendment rights, and they were protesting, and guess what they got called? These Black Panthers got called terrorists. Not that they actually was making terroristic threats, not because they actually did anything, basically because they protested. And you know, the United States government, or the governor, they do not associate with terrorists. They don't deal with terrorists and this, that, and the third. So while she's want to sit here and wave her little one, I just would like for you to wave your little one over there and free these 20 Black Panthers, you know, because you get free people for drugs and other stuff. I don't know why you can't free these Black Panthers. And I feel like you steal so much of our culture, you might as well, you know, do something for the culture and, you know, do that. So yeah, that's how I feel about protesting. I feel like protesting, like, these systems and laws are made against us. It's not made for us. It benefits nobody but the people that made them. And I know some people that's in the legal field and some people that are judges and stuff like this and that, they're gonna sit here and feel away, but I'm gonna put it like this. I was told that I have no respect for the law, I have no respect for authority, I have no respect for this, I have no respect for that, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. Why would I? Why would I like y'all? What have y'all done for me or my ancestors or anybody? Like, and now I ain't gonna sit here and say that all judges, all lawyers, and everybody else are like with it, but I feel like y'all haven't did nothing to move it, to make it anything. I don't know. I don't personally like anybody in government. I'm not gonna sit here and say I don't like nobody. I don't like the police. I don't like most lawyers. I don't like most judges. I just don't. I'm not saying that every experience that I have had with a officer that was white was a bad one. Just that I don't trust you as far as I can see you. You get smile in my face and still have ill intentions. I just don't trust them and I don't like them. Alright, so again, Jay and Juju just got back because they went fishing. Jaxon stayed with me because he's a little bit too small and he kind of mama's boy a little bit. But Jay also confirmed that he wants to be a part of this video, so somewhere in this video, more than likely he will be in here talking. I'm gonna try to get through my topics, as many of them as I can, while they get cleaned up or whatever. So I'm gonna finish with, I'm not gonna sit here and say that I don't like the police far as just in general, like I'm a person that just hate all police. You have to give me a reason to like you. And it's a lot of police that I just don't like or trust or any of that. Like, but I do feel like we should have more black police, and I do understand that there's Uncle Toms everywhere. So I know that just because they black don't mean they're gonna be for me. But we should have more black police. We should have more black lawyers, and we should have more black judges. People do not know when you and mayors, when governors, all that. People don't know that you need to vote for those type of changes and those type of things and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like that we should have more of us in there and more of us that's in there that's not colored, or not colored, but puppets, something. But yeah, as far as with the police and, you know, the system, I have always understood that the system was not made for me. It's not made to benefit me. I have always understood that. So I have never care to be in the presence of a judge, a lawyer, or a public defender, people like that. Like, I have never cared to be around them. I have never cared for those people at all. So, I mean, it is what it is. Okay, now I could talk about the looting and the rioting and stuff like that. The looting, far as with people tearing up stuff and the rioting and people tearing up stuff and businesses and stuff like that. I feel like if you're going to tear up something, you need to tear up these governments, not your own community. I feel like that's stupid. I feel like that doesn't make any common sense. So when we have stuff that happens, kind of like the coronavirus and pandemics and stuff like that, and you need food and you need supplies, and you know that it already took you probably 30-40 years for it to even get in your neighborhood, to sit here and go and tear it up, it's just redundant to me. I also understand that a lot of people that were looting and setting fires and all this stuff, a lot of black people don't even have access to that type of stuff to set a whole building on fire and stuff like that. I don't like the fact that people of other races was putting Black Lives Matter on stuff, and I don't like it simply because it makes it look like we're not peacefully protesting. It makes it look like we're doing that. And if y'all see on videos, even on CNN, I know it's a lot of people that don't like CNN, but even on CNN they were showing that it was Chinese people and all the people. Like, I feel like we have so much to fight for far as with our freedoms and rights and laws in America, that I should not have to sit here and tell you not to sit here and spray paint Black Lives Matter on stuff. Like, the people that I seen on CNN that was sitting here chastising all those folks that was doing it, like, to me that's a bit much. That's for the police, and yeah, I do that. I will sit here and say that I agree with certain people that's like it's anarchy and people are placed here for a reason. There was a lot of people that was tearing up stuff that was not even from them states. So I can't sit here and be like, black people, don't sit here and loot and don't sit here and riot and blah 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 this, blah 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 that, when I have seen black people aren't even the ones doing it. Like, we're not even the ones doing it. We're not even the ones that's riding alone. And not saying that it's all everybody else, but far as that, we're not a majority that even starts this stuff. I believe in New York, a retired police did vandalism and set something on fire. Like, black people don't have explosives. I don't know if y'all noticed that it was bricks. It have been bricks placed out in places, strategically placed out in places where they know that people finna protest and stuff like that, and they know that these protests are going to turn into riots. How did these bricks get here? How did certain stuff get here? Like, y'all gotta think about this stuff. So I really have no feeling about it. The only thing that I can sit here and say as far as like my opinion about it, or how I feel about it, as far as with the looting and rioting and stuff like that, with black people, like, we built it. So if you want to tear it down, you feel like you're not getting treated unjust, whatever. Like, whatever. I said what I said in the beginning, not to do it to your own city and your own neighborhoods and all that stuff, but it got built off of us, so whatever. Also, well, now I'm gonna go in this order. Another thing I want to talk about was the killing in Alabama. Those 4 girls back in the day, like way back in the day in Alabama, where it's killings and stuff like that, where they went to a church and killed 4 kids. Really it was 5, but I think one of them survived or whatever, and she was able to tell the story of how it happened. If you pay attention to what's going on now in society, you have white dudes that sit here and get guns and machine guns, go to churches. We sit here and welcome people in, and they kill you dead. Like, for nothing. Just flat out kill you dead for nothing. Like, just the hate of somebody for the color of their skin. And what kills me is white people, certain white people, hate black people for the color of their skin. It's the dumbest thing to me. Like, I don't like you because the color of your skin. Yeah, I got a whole another thing with that. So I said that basically to say that history is not doing nothing but steadily repeating itself. If you notice, those white dudes, they didn't get the needle, they didn't get the chair, they were giving them water, they treated them so nicely. When you had George Floyd, someone with counterfeit, or I think he's supposed to have a counterfeit 20, got kneeled on and died. Like, I have spoke a little bit about how the laws are made against us, and I'm gonna get to why I say that in a minute, but laws are not made for us. We're not made to be equal. We didn't make these laws, so that should let you know that it's really not made for us. It's kind of biased, and that's how the society has been for forever. I already talked about we need a government, people in government and stuff like that. I had wanted to touch on this. Okay, so I don't know why their TV. I don't know why their TV was so loud, but I took it down, and I got a few more topics. It's really gonna be a longer video, like I said. Also, if you made it this far and you like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Stop being stingy with the little subscribe thing. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Show some type of support. Like, you don't gotta sit here and send me no super chat, send me no money or nothing like that to support the channel. Just simply subscribe and actually watch the videos. Dang. Also, thumbs it up. Schools separated by color. I feel like segregation is cool, but I also feel like we should have an option to sit here and have our own all black schools. Like how people have private schools to keep their kids away from black people and quote unquote a better education and this, that, and the third. How y'all pay for y'all private schools, I feel like we should have our own private schools as all black schools as well. Because if you pay attention to private schools, it may be one black kid in those private schools. Maybe, I'd say 5 at the whole school. So that's what most white people do with money that wants their kid to have a better education. They send them to a private school. I feel like it should be public schools for all black kids to go. That's just how I feel about that. I know people is like separation and we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. I feel like we should have that because we can teach our own and we can show our own history and stuff like that. I think it would be beneficial to have a historical all black school, just like we have these historical all black colleges and stuff like that, to be so much more expensive just because it's historical and it's a black college. Like, we should have schools as well. Medical care. If y'all don't know, also, let me wait before I get to medical care. In schools, y'all, why I say that far as with the black schools, it's because you have teachers that are mainly white that really don't understand the kids. So you have teachers that really don't understand black kids, and we're violent, we're aggressive, we're this, we're that, and we're hyper, so they got ADHD, they're this, they're all these terms. And I just feel like it would be better for the kids to have someone that knows how to deal with their own kind, teaching their own kind, if you get what I mean. I just don't think a lot of white teachers, quote unquote, care, because it's not them. They don't know how to talk to black kids. They don't know how to deal with black kids. And a lot of them don't even know how to talk and deal with black people. So I don't want y'all in the schools. And I have dealt with this with Carter and Crystal with the school that they're in, or the schools that they have been in. Like, you have white principals, white teachers, and they want to sit here and argue with you versus talking to you about your child and what's going on with your child. They can sit here and do an injustice to your kid. I have had the same thing happen with Jaxon and Julian. You know, y'all, if y'all been here, y'all the real OGs, y'all know that we had a whole incident that happened with Jaxon, where a staff member dropped my child and basically still kept her job. Like, we need for them to have their own stuff, because clearly we have been asking for equal rights and for y'all to treat us equally and not treat us this way and not treat us that way, and nothing's been happening. So I feel as if we need our own schools, we need our own daycares, we need our own entities within ourselves in society. Because clearly we're not getting treated equally, and I see nothing changing, and I'm not finna sit here and wish and hope or pray like it needs to be a change made for us with that. Medical care. If y'all don't know, back in the day, doctors did certain things on black women because we were a strong black woman and we didn't really have pain and blah 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 this and blah 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 that. They did all this experimental crap because black women were so strong and black people were so strong and they could endure and they could go through so much pain and this, that, and the third. when we have kids, when we birth kids, we are the closest people to death. We are the ones that most likely will die during childbirth in America. You have this coronavirus going on. You have nurses coming on their platform saying that basically the coronavirus is not killing black people in New York, and I think it was Brooklyn, New York, or wherever. It was the hood of New York, and it was a whole white nurse that came on there. It was like, you have people that's basically doing malpractice, maltreatment. They're not changing stuff. They're not even looking at stuff. They're assigning me dead patients, this, that, and the third. It's not the virus that's killing these people. It's the fact of the malpractice and the maltreatment. And then you have people that sit here and like have cancer, have actual health problems, and you have doctors to sit here and just be like, oh well, you know, take some aspirin or whatever, call me tomorrow, you'll be okay, you're not hurt, y'all don't hurt, whatever, and they kind of brush it away far as like you're not really in pain when like we're human too, we have pain as well. So that's why I feel like it should be more doctors in the medical field. We should have our own clinic that we can go to see our own people that can sit here and listen to us and understand us versus what we've been dealing with. I know that I'm not the only black person that have sat here, and I can speak for my husband as well as far as to that. I'm not the only black person that have went to the ER because something was hurting, because something was wrong, and they overlooked it and didn't care. My husband just dealt with that with his whole shoulder, where they're like, oh well, you know, give it a couple of days to go away, blah blah blah, this blah blah blah. He's a whole veteran out here. Like, it's just ridiculous of the lack of care that we get in a medical field. Alright y'all, so like I said, this will be a longer video. I'm back with Jay.
Y'all know me, right? Your boy Jay from Jay's Place TV and Hooked on Autism. Snacking as usual.
So I'm gonna finish the topics like I said that I was gonna do with him in the video, so that you get a perspective from, I guess, the whole family. Far as with, I guess, Black Lives Matter, there's injustice in the system and stuff like that. And we're gonna speak on coming from obviously black people and black people with kids that's gonna have to grow up in this trying time. So Jaxon and Julian is here. So y'all might hear that in the background, but their TVs and stuff like that is turned down, and the TV in our rooms turned down. I left off the video talking about Medicaid, not Medicaid, but Medicare, medical care for like black people, like how people, like a lot of doctors sit here and feel as if black people don't have some type of pain for whatever reason. It's kind of like if you have an issue, you kind of have to keep going back or demand them to do basically their job. Like they demand them to do MRIs, demand them to do CAT scans, CTs, whatever they need to do to make sure you're okay.
Right.
You kind of have to demand it. I personally have a black doctor, but I was gonna go ahead and let Jay tell y'all about his experience with like the VA and just doctors that are not black.
Yeah, doctors.
Or the medical field, period.
Well, that's here recently. When I hurt my shoulder, I went to the VA first. And they just was like, oh, you got a sprain. It's nothing. Go home. No pain meds, just, I think it was an anti-inflammatory. But nothing like for the pain. Something for the swelling, nothing for the pain, right? But I have broke this shoulder before, and I have broken this collarbone before. So I was in there and I was like, Doc, hey, I'm not trying to second guess you, really I am. But at the same time, bro, this hurt worse than the dislocation that I had at first, right?
Yeah.
And it was nothing. I ended up going home. Came home, maybe what, 2 nights?
Yeah.
I went back to the VA. I saw somebody different. And it was the same thing. It was kind of like, hey, yeah, you gotta, no. They said you have a pulled muscle, but you very well could have a tear. And I told him, I said, I was just here the other day. I got 2 shots in the butt and the anti-inflammatory, but no pain meds to go home with. He was like, really? I was like, yeah. Still, 2 more shots in the butt no medicines to go home with. Continue the medication that you have at home. Came back home one more night. Yeah, it got so bad to the point where I was like moaning in my sleep out of pain, right? And so I went to Baptist. When I went to Baptist ER, the doctor that saw me immediately was like, hey, we need to get you... let me go back. Because the second time I went to the VA, I had to literally say, hey, nah, I need y'all to do a scan. Because nobody did a scan, nobody said nothing about a scan. I even asked the nurse, and I was like, hey, look, is the doctor not going to really look at this? Like, he came in here and was like,
yeah,
and here go 2 shots in the butt and go home.
Yeah.
Well, when I was ready to get that from the second doctor, I spoke to the nurse, and me and him know each other because I'm always up there for my migraines. And I was like, bro, look, you know I don't come in here unless I got to. And he was like, yeah, I know. He was like, what can I do? And I was like, man, would you please try to get him to do a scan? Because somebody needs to see. It's something going on, and I know it is. Well, they did it. The first night they did it. And then they scheduled me one. My PCP scheduled me one because he couldn't believe that they didn't do one. He was like, what? Like, they just looked at it, said it was sprained, and sent you home? I was like, yeah, and I'm still in pain.
Yeah, so basically, we went to the VA doctor or whatever. Nothing happened, just a shot for swelling and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Then I believe he went to an actual Baptist. Yep. And they were like, no, he did. He went to the VA, then he went to the VA twice. Nothing happened. Then he went to a Baptist. Baptist was like, if it was just a sprain, 2 to 3, a pulled muscle. Matter of fact, they didn't say it was sprain. They said it was a pulled muscle. Yeah. Baptist immediately was like, you know, this would have went away, 3-4 days, would have went away. I have had pulled muscles in my leg and the back of, hold on, y'all. All right, so basically Baptist said that, you know, it would have went away if it was, you started to drive it? Mm-hmm. Baptist was like, you know, if it was just a pulled muscle, it would have went away by now. And like I was saying, I've had pulled muscles in the back of my leg and stuff like that. And yeah, it hurt. It do hurt the first 2 or 3 days. And then, like the doctor said, it would have went away. Yeah. So the fact that he had, you know, an injury twice on the same arm, even if it was just a sprain or even if it was just something simple, I feel like they should have, common sense will tell you that it's going to hurt worse. Because you're re-injuring already re-injury. So common sense will be like, whatever's going on in there obviously hurt because it's already, you know, had to heal and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like basically a weaker part of his body. Common sense to me would be to prescribe some type of pain medicine on top of the anti-inflammatory, because I do get with having kids that are anti-inflammatories helps with the swelling, and maybe they'd be able to see what was really going on. No pain medicine. Baptist told him to get his doctor to sit here and do an MRI. Yeah. Mind you, they did it. They didn't do one with the dye, nothing like that, to still get back the same stuff. And his doctor finally, with him being in this pain for damn near a month, gave him some type of relief. But that's just something that shouldn't even be so common with the black community. Just like certain medications, I feel like if I know that they're working for me and I'm past the stage or past the age where it's an addictive drug to me and my personality, I feel like, why can't I get that? Because the opioid addiction, y'all didn't care about the opioid addiction until it started messing with others. So yeah, it's just a lot of stuff with that. Did you want to say anything else about the medical field?
No, not really. It's just, to me, it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like ping pong. You know what I mean? Like, okay, we're gonna see you today. Your injury could be this, right? But we're gonna see you today for this, but we only gonna cover 25% of it, so we can send you home and bring you back time after time until we get it right. Instead of just going to the doctor, seeing me for what the hell I need you to see me for, and solving the problem, or not solving it, coming so close to it to where I go home feeling like, whew, man, I'm glad I went. Each one of them times that I went to the doctor for my shoulder, which still hurts today, I came home feeling like ain't nobody doing nothing. Like, I literally felt like something is wrong and nobody's gonna find out about it until I just fall out.
Yeah, if they find out then.
Well, if I don't fall out from the coronavirus. Just saying.
Alright, y'all, so like I said, Jay was fishing, so all of the little stuff, like I guess they was on their way back fishing while I was started recording this video. But he was fishing, so all of everything else I talked about he don't know, but I still got like a long list, so we're just gonna keep going with that, and whatever else I want to touch on after that I will ask him do he even want to elaborate on. But again, this video will be a longer video, so if you do not like long videos, do not watch this video. The next thing is child support. Far as, and some people gonna feel like, you know, it's just people that don't want to take care of their kids. They have an issue with child support, blah 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 this, blah 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 that. I want to sit here and tell y'all from a woman's perspective of child support, something that I have learned with child support, something that I have kind of knew for a couple of years now. Even before this little female dog and this whole situation with this person, child support was something that came from white women. If y'all don't know, back in the day, like the slavery days or segregation, desegregation, all that bull crap, around that time is when, because back in the day, women couldn't vote at all. Black people couldn't do nothing, but white men can vote and they can do this and they can do that. Well, at a point in time, white women wanted to vote and they wanted their rights and they wanted to be equal to men and all this stuff, all that blah 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 blah. So when they came up with I think the feminist movement or whatever movement they came up with a movement, and we was desegregated and stuff like that. And it was like, well, you know, we were just slaves, so our masters had fed us, clothed us, stuff like that. So that's and it's kind of going into like with the welfare system or whatever. But white women and the government introduced child support. So I'm gonna break it down like kind of somewhat so of. They was telling black women, well, you don't have to be with that man, you don't have to take this stuff, you can get a job too, because they wanted more people, more votes, and more basically manpower. So they be like, you know, you don't have to be with him, you know, because back in the day the man was the breadwinner and that's who took care of the household back in the day. And that's why people be like, we're not in the 60s and 50s no more, like I'm not doing it. That's why I say that nowadays. But back in the day, the men was the breadwinners. So when they wanted their rights to vote and the freedoms to do this and drive and all this other stuff that white women were not allowed to do, that's when that kind of came. And then they kind of, they brainwashed black women to feel as if they would be equal, they would have rights. So black women went and got jobs, black women started going to school, and they introduced the welfare system, which the welfare system will give you food stamps, it'll give you insurance, it'll do this, and guess what it also would do? It will also sit here and put the black man on child support. And if the black man does not pay child support, mind you now, they were still with their husbands, but they tell us that, hey, you don't have to be with him, we'll take care of you, we got you, we'll help you. So when the child support enforcement happened, and this is a state government funded program basically, when a child support sat here and will sit here and enforce child support, if you, let's say the black man barely making ends meet, which we kind of were back in the day, if anything happened with the black man, like he falling hard times, he don't have a job for let's say 6 months or something like that, he's struggling, the black man become homeless, guess what? Child support then will sit here and send out a warrant for that for that black man. They put out a warrant, they'll take this black man to jail, and you know, already in prison they're getting paid dollars and cents on the dollar. So guess what the state still sat here and did, and the government still sat here and did? They took the black man out of your home, and they also took the black man out of the kids' lives, and guess what? The black man is now still sitting here in jail and still basically in slavery in modern day time. That's all it is. If you look at anything that's made in the United States of America, more than likely it was made in prison, more than likely they're paying them people 2 cents or some crap like that or whatever for their labor and stuff like that. So these systems of things that you think is going to help you and it might be beneficial now, I have never really just been against. You really have to do absolutely nothing for me to sit here and want to put you on child support, because I know the backdraw of child support, how child support started. So let's just think of how this actually helps the black people at all. It takes the black man out, not only your household, so everybody out being everyone out doing whatever they want to do. They feel like they, you know, they the independent, strong black woman and blah 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 this, blah 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 that, hoo-ha crap. And then the kid don't have a dad because he's in jail or prison or whatever, paying back child support. And if the dad gets in arrears and stuff like that, the back child support goes to the state. So how did that really help at all? So girl or boy don't have no father in the household. There's no men out here to protect the women. Black women are the most unprotected women in America. Who did this really help? This system of child support and this system of assistance. Who did that really just help? So I know that a lot of people is gonna go over a lot of people's head, because there's a lot of women that gets child support from their baby dad and they feel as if, you know, blah 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 this. You have a lot of black women that sit here and get mad at men and put them on child support, and you also have a lot of men that put women on child support out of being spiteful. Like, it's just something that I don't feel like I would sit here and do to somebody, because I know where it could lead and where it might lead. I won't put nobody in that type of predicament. Like, if you're not gonna take care of your kid, you ain't gonna take care of your kid. I'm not saying that it's right, but I'm not gonna sit here and benefit the state and benefit the government with you being in jail. I just don't see how that's helping the situation at all. Y'all take on y'all feelings, any of that?
Well, to me it's one of those. It's another one, because it's plenty of things that were put in place to break up what I call, and this, like I said, is personal opinion, what I call a strong black
Family
home.
dominant. Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it ultimately ends up separating the household. So that's kind of what I've seen from it, and that's kind of where I feel like it was going, because what's stronger than a family? You get what I'm saying? Like, a household that's standing together, working together, living together, teaching together, praying together, that's power. And a lot of people right now don't really have that power in their household. They may feel like they do. They may try to recreate that power, but if that power has ever been damaged before, I mean, it's systems in play that can say, hey, look, y'all ain't got to be a family, and we got you if y'all split up. You know what I mean? So there's no more of that 30, 40, 50-year marriage. And like I say, you know, it looks good in the beginning. You know what I mean? It starts out feeling good because you get a little extra this and a little extra that. But ultimately, somewhere, somebody is paying the price. Because even if that man or that woman is paying that child support, whatever they owe, if they fell on hard times, you're not going to see much of that. You feel what I'm saying? If any of that. Because the state is still going to take back what you've been using in your benefit. You feel what I'm saying? But
in the long run, but meanwhile, the state and the government, they sit here and create bills, tax breaks and stuff like that. So they're really just charging you twice, basically, for the same thing.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, like, hey, whatever route people choose to go with whatever they want to do, that's your business, because I know it's some real deadbeats out there.
I do too, so that's why I said.
It's really some people who don't mind making those payments that run into hard times and situations that can't make those payments. Everybody on child support ain't a sorry mother. Everybody on child support ain't sorry.
But I feel like that's the stigma that people like to sit here and go with. Like, well, you're not taking care of your kids, and like I said, if you fall on hard times, they gonna sit here.
It keep going.
Child support gonna sit here and still keep going, and you're obligated to make this payment or whatever. Like, we don't care that you're not working. We don't care that this happened. We don't care that you hurt your shoulder and your job let you go or anything like that. We don't care about that. We still need our monthly payment because these kids still need to be taken care of. And it's like, well, I don't understand about that, because in most cases it be women that have the kids and stuff like that. So the same woman can sit here and not do nothing and be on a leaning on the government, leaning on the city and the state, but she's not sorry. She's not trifling. It's women out here that sit here and get child support for these quote unquote kids, and to me, certain amounts is just too damn high, and you really don't need all that money to sit here and take care of these kids. Certain people don't even use the money towards the kids. You get your hair done, you get your nails done, and you going out every Saturday, every Friday, Saturday, you going out, it's paying your car note. I feel like if child support needs to be used to pay your bills, you don't need to be getting child support, because what would you do if you did not have that child? You know, and some people like to argue, well, I wouldn't need this much space, and I wouldn't have to go here, and I wouldn't have to go there if I didn't have a child. Like, you played a part in that too. But I also know that there's also people that will sit here and buy their kids clothes, shoes, go half with you with, you know, cell phone bills, or every other month cell phone bills, and like baseball, football. Like, it's parents that actually will sit here and go half and split the bill with you to meet you halfway with this child. But you have people that just, well, I want the money, they're not doing nothing. How, if this person's not working, this person not going to school, how they're not sorry, how they're not a deadbeat? But you sitting here waiting for a whole check from somebody else's pocket that is getting up there, they're going to work. Like, I know the background of the system, and I just also feel like even custodial parents can be sorry parents. I'm going to go on to the next topic. A lot of people don't know about this because it's really not in history books. I have never heard of it until I got older. But Black Wall Street, the riot in Black Wall Street. A lot of people don't know that the riot in Black Wall Street, which was in, I think, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Basically, what happened was, it was just that it was a riot against black people. They burnt down the black businesses, the black homes, and stuff like that. They killed over 300 to 400 people within that riot, and it never was rebuilt.
Let me give y'all a fast forward version of what happened. Little young black guy gets on this elevator every day. He gets back on this elevator this particular day, and the white woman who rides the elevator up and down, I guess it's kind of like the little elevator chauffeur, for lack of better terms, because I don't really know what that title was. But he gets off. She claims that he raped her. White men are like, hey, nag nigga for rape, or something like that was the headline in the newspaper.
Yeah.
And everybody was in an uproar. So they marched on Black Wall Street, which I think was called Greenwood. I think it's Greenwood.
Yeah.
They marched on it. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop it right there with the march on. They were already mad because it was black grocery stores, black barbershops, 2 black schools, black hospitals.
And that's why I say I feel like now
Everything.
in today's time we need to do the same thing if we want to sit here and stay in America, or they need to send us back to where we came from, because a lot of racist people would be like, well, why don't you go back to where you came from and blah blah blah. We didn't pick to come over here. Y'all came and got us because y'all couldn't do this work that we did. So
and first of all, I mean, not trying to be funny, that's where my people somewhere down my generations came from. I come from here.
yeah.
So motherfucker, I'm where I need to be. I ain't never set foot nowhere else aside from Iraq and Kuwait.
Yeah.
So how you gonna tell me to go back where I came from? That's where my lineage came from. And they may not have even came from over there.
But what I'm saying is, y'all came and took us. Like, I don't like, as far as with the riding and stuff like that, I really wasn't gonna get too deep in there because I feel like y'all could do y'all own research.
Check it out. It's on YouTube.
It's documentaries and stuff like that y'all can sit here and find. Y'all can do y'all own research with that, as far as with Black Wall Street, what happened with that. Because I wasn't gonna sit here and give y'all the background of the dude that's supposed to be raped this girl, but at the same time, she did not pursue the case.
Yeah. I had to make. All right, so I had to tell y'all about the young dude and the interaction or encounter in the elevator, because that's what initially brought it all about. You know what I mean? Aside from the fact that they already didn't like that, they didn't make a move until that happened, and then they made a move on Black Wall Street.
As far as with that stuff that happened in Oklahoma, I don't know if I said it earlier, but they basically, black people can work in all of the other areas of Oklahoma, but we couldn't shop there and we couldn't stay there. So what we did was made our own stores, spent money with ourselves, had our own doctors, had our own schools and stuff like that. We did all that ourselves. And they came and basically burnt it down. They said there was airplanes that put stuff on the ground and sit here and
Speed to fire, kerosene.
yeah. So that's like a beg to differ type of thing. I think it's a few of them that was living, because some of the documentaries that we watched were of the surviving people, but it happened so long ago. And that was, the documentaries was filmed like 3 years ago, so yeah, before all this even happened. And basically they made it to where it was pretty much impossible to rebuild Black Wall Street or whatever. The businesses and stuff like that, the factories had shut down. Like it was
crazy.
It's a lot of stuff that happened with that. But again, a lot of this stuff started with police brutality, with people peacefully protesting, and nothing has happened. Nothing still has happened. And I'm really at the point where I feel like asking someone that sat here and enslaved us to give us freedom and give us and treat us equally and all this and all that, it's like falling on deaf ears. So unless we're going to pick a state, pick a community, pick a part where all the Black people are going to sit here and be, and it probably be a few states, 2 or 3 are part of the United States that we could stay in, I feel like I would rather go back to where my ancestors and whoever else originated from. And that's just my opinion. Not speaking for Jay, not speaking to nobody else that's Black, but that's just how I feel about it, because clearly we are not wanted where we're not wanted everywhere, and we're not wanted somewhere where we actually sat here and built off the backs of our ancestors, stuff like that. And we're still getting suppressed to this day. We still getting injustice. And I know back in the day it was an argument that Black people get a job just because no, we don't get a job just because we Black. Matter of fact, it would be one Black person that works somewhere maybe, but it's places that I have went in, it's nothing but white people. It's nothing but others that work there. So just cause that 1% is not really happening. But okay. Now I was gonna also say that I feel like you out your mind if you feel like the same people that sat here and enslaved us for years and years and years, decades and decades and decades, are actually gonna sit here and give us justice and equality and this and that. Like we've been talking about for years now and decades now, talking about, you know, fair treatment, and we don't want no more police brutality, and let's just love each other. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to sit here and hear nothing about all lives matter, because clearly all lives but Black lives matter. So y'all want to sit here and take somebody's hashtag, take somebody's movement, and y'all are not at risk of anything. Like y'all are the suppressors. Like what are you talking about? Like all lives matter. Like to me, when Black people say that mush mouth stuff, like you are a person to me that I would say in disown because you're stupid. Like that's just ignorant to sit here and feel like, well, all lives matter, not just us, and other people went through stuff. We are the only ones dealing with stuff. We are the only ones that sit here and you could turn on the news or turn on any station, any outlet, and see an officer supposedly of the law kill you. And you have other officers come out and be like, we was not trying to do that, we're not supposed to do that, blah, 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 this, blah, 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 that. But they have unions that they know they're protected. So he didn't care that somebody was recording him. He didn't care. So if you can freely sit here and kill us, I think you have your mind to sit here and feel like somebody's going to sit here and actually care. They don't. And it's been going on for years. I already stated that. Starbucks, I'm going to talk a little bit about Starbucks. Starbucks had a whole other thing where they was like, oh, well, people can't wear Black Lives Matter stuff or nothing about the protests. I'm going to sit here and say this. They retracted that statement, but I still can sit here and not support you. Because, see, this is not the only time that Starbucks or that Starbucks employees had did something. Like, it was a Black man a few months back. Matter of fact, I think in 2019, that went in there on like some business stuff. The associate called the police on him and he almost got arrested, and some more stuff happened, like basically because he was Black and she felt like he didn't belong in that neighborhood. So you employ people like this to work in your establishments. And it hit the news, and you know they came out and apologized, and supposedly this person got fired or retrained or something like that. Like you can't retrain racism and prejudice. What do you feel about Starbucks?
I mean, I was actually on Starbucks. They had a lot of stuff that I liked in the morning time, but I can't spend another dollar up there because my whole thing is like, if you feel like people can't wear something, I would have respected y'all more as a company if y'all stuck to it. We said what we said. When you take it back, that's what bothered me.
Well, they took it back because of the backlash.
But that's what bothered me.
But to me, y'all feel how y'all feel.
No, but that's what bothered me. If you gonna say something as a multi-million-dollar corporation, stand on that. Y'all can't
They
wear
could have
that.
stood by whatever they stood by, and I still went in the shop with them. Because
But
why is all black or Black Lives Matter? How is that affecting you?
But this is my opinion. I would have still respected y'all. That don't mean I had to spend a dollar there, but I would have respected y'all if y'all said what y'all said and y'all stood on it. The moment y'all took that back, that let everybody know somebody way up the chain somewhere is like, hey, we need their money. Just like Black Wall Street. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's still here. We don't own absolutely shit, really. But Black Wall Street, is the effects of it is still lingering. You had this multi-million-dollar company like, hey, hold up. A lot of them people come in here. We need to try to pull that back because, see, what a lot of ignorant people fail to realize is the people that are out here chanting, protesting, saying Black Lives Matter, not all of them are black. So Starbucks was finna take a really, really, really big hit.
That's what I said earlier.
You feel what I'm saying? It was gonna take a real big, not from this, just this, but this too. They was gonna take a big hit. There's a lot of them people down there that wasn't just black. Just because you see somebody or hear somebody say Black Lives Matter don't mean they black. Ignorant people of America, that don't mean that. So you had to take that statement back because little Becky and little Miss Janice, they not coming in the morning. And they gonna get on that horn and they gonna cancel all of y'all. It's stores right now that's closing, going out of business because of something they said about this whole thing. That's why you gotta be careful. America is a sensitive America.
I don't feel like
they'll cancel all your whole life behind all of it.
I don't feel like that's sensitive. I feel like that's just common sense. Like, but Starbucks saying that, what I thought about it is how the schools did it. When it's Black Lives, that hashtag Black Lives Matter, kids come wear clothes that say Black Lives Matter. And it's like, how is that interfering with the education, interfering with anything else? That's another reason why I say we should have our own schools, kind of like Black Wall Street had their own schools, they had their own doctors, they had their own lawyers, you had your own stuff. Because like I said, we were not allowed to go anywhere else in Oklahoma at all. But y'all not gonna help us rebuild some stuff that y'all tore down. Y'all didn't get no charge pressed against y'all because the laws is not made for y'all. It's made for us to keep us in check and to keep us in jail and to keep y'all capitalism going. So what y'all realize is that eventually y'all let black people start shopping in y'all store. So now we're sitting here and helping your business instead of helping our own business. That's another way to suppress a society.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's such a very, 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 very thin line with all of that. You know what I mean? Because it's no matter what people say about the Black Lives Matter movement, purpose, or anything dealing with Black Lives Matter, there's always gonna be somebody that's gonna be offended by it. And the problem is that Black lives been mattering. Okay? Black lives been mattering for forever. Black lives matter when Master had my people from my lineage. They mattered then because without those slave owners didn't have shit. So we've been mattering. You know what I mean? And like I said, I don't have a damn racist bone in my body. I got a problem personally when people come at me personally. You feel what I'm saying? But I give them the same space. Like I give them social distancing on that shit because everybody is entitled to their own opinion. As long as you don't come over here too wrong, you might get a chance to walk on about your business. I don't give a damn about none of that. You feel what I'm saying? But there is a federal document from the Black Panther movement back when it was really going on that said the government feared the rise of a black messiah. Have you noticed that everybody that starts speaking up for black people that are really in positions to lead and guide black people, they end up dead than a motherfucker? That's why. They scared of a black messiah. Why are you scared of somebody that's going? Oh, that's why. Because y'all know the power. See, Modern day,
It's not even the power that they scared of. I think a lot of people's also scared of the fact of they think if we are in power that we're gonna do to them what they did to us.
man, listen. This is if y'all cancel me, I don't even give a damn. I'm gonna say how I feel about it because it's my personal opinion. The modern day black people could not probably build another Black Wall Street, even if we wanted to, because there's really no glue inside of our own area until something like what happened, and then everybody comes to, well, not everybody, most people come together and try to hash out what's really going on so we can be in the forefront of something better, right? But you always got that vast majority of people that are trying to fuck that up because they're so used to being where they are. If we did recreate Black Wall Street right now in my neighborhood and just took it over, built up all our own stuff, and we in our own area, they're gonna tear it up from the inside out. If I was on the opposing side of America, I would say, you know what? Let's do that. Let's give them the whole state of Texas. Black people. Let's give them the whole state of Texas. Let them build, let them do whatever, let them just be great. Because at some point in time, if y'all don't tear it up from the inside out, we got all of y'all in one spot. We just get rid of all of y'all at once. You feel what I'm saying? That way of thinking does not exist because the power and the force that they seeing now on this here TV by every race that's riding with the whole everything, that's scary to a lot of people up there in the higher offices because they didn't think that type of unity would ever exist. And it is. Not only over here, but everywhere. That's what they scared of. It's power in numbers. It ain't, but you gotta know what to do with the numbers. You can't just be a number. You feel what I'm saying? You can't be a massive crowd just chanting. You got to be doing something. That change comes with change. You feel what I'm saying? So my opinion on a lot of stuff is different when it comes down to that because it's hard enough trying to get people to come together before something like this happens. Less knowing sitting somewhere running our own stuff again. It's people that can do it. It's people that have those businesses. But a lot of these same black-owned businesses were burnt down and broken into with the looting, not the protesting. Protesting, looting, there's two different things. Protesters and rioters, they're two different type of people. So the people that were doing the rioting, that were tearing up black stuff, you gotta kind of see that all these people are just dropped in these crowds to do that. People that spray paint Black Lives Matter stuff, not even black. Hold up. We asked y'all for y'all support and y'all help, but we ain't asked for it like that because that turns around and the media does this. But they do it after you paint it and you gone, so they think a black person did it. You feel what I'm saying? So what we're trying to say and what we're standing for and what we're representing on our shirts and masks and all of that, when they see it spray painted on the building, they don't see little Foulon Ying over here that painted this and got the hell out the way before the camera seen it. All they seen was the BLM on somebody's building. And they gonna think that a black person did it, right? Come on now. Like, y'all gotta put the pieces of the puzzle together. But it's so much good going on right now in the midst of the rioting, in the midst of the looting, that they can't fully just tag that on to the Black Lives Matter group because these news people are even reporting it live with the microphone. And they saying, hey, look, the people that's down here tearing up stuff ain't even black. Turn around, Bo. Turn around and get them right there. You see them? They're not even black people. Look at there. And they talking about that on the news live. We never had that representation before. We had behind the scenes, already filmed, edited, put together stuff. You never saw any of that. So now that this happening live in your face, y'all, how can y'all just say it's us? You feel what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's a lot of strong changes with just the media, but it's still a lot of messed up stuff going on with the media too at the same time. So you have to pick which pill you want to swallow.
All right, so my next topic is the NFL. And my opinion with the NFL, how I feel about the NFL, this is all me right here. The NFL, far as how I feel about them coming out fucking what 3-4 years later apologizing to Colin Kaepernick and stuff like that. Like, apologize to him with some money. Apologize to him without blackballing him into the field, if that's even what Colin even still wants to do. How about you apologize with that? Because y'all have made a lot of money still off of the backs of black people. And I feel like had this movement been going on, they wouldn't have came out and apologized at all. It ain't sincere. Don't backpedal and pussy pop now and want to sit here and apologize. And you know, I don't hear that. Keep that same energy. Like, I want you to sit here and go apologize with your guns at capitals and at legislators and changing laws and actually doing equal rights. Because even when y'all sat here and benched Colin Kaepernick, y'all sat here and still had white people kneeling in a protest, a peaceful protest. Did they get benched? Did they get blackballed? No. Like, the NFL to me are racist. They don't have no people of color, of any color, not just black, but no Mexicans, nobody of color as far as owning a team. So, I mean, and just because y'all hire Jay-Z, I got my own little opinion about Jay-Z. Like, y'all, they can be capitalists too. Just because you are my skin tone don't mean that you're for other people. You could be black and still be a puppet. Just like I said about the mayors, the governors, and senators. We do need more of them in office, but we also need those in office and those in positions that's not going to sit here and be Uncle Tums. We need people that's from the community that's going to actually sit here and make a difference in a community. You can say whatever you're going to say about it.
I don't have nothing to say about the NFL. I don't have nothing to say about them at all, because it's not, to me, it's not like too late. Yeah, y'all should have been gave that apology. I don't know. I just don't really have too much to say about them as far as that whole thing is concerned, because y'all they late. Like, literally, like, y'all late, but people still gonna watch it. People still gonna support their teams. People still gonna do all that. So it really, at this point, it really don't matter. You know what I mean? It's just, when people realize that how much dollars they gonna lose, they get real apologetic. So that's my take on that.
Then I feel like another thing with the black community, as far as even with the NFL, like, I don't understand how black people in general, how do you boycott something and you still get in skybox and you still at the games and you still have Super Bowl parties and stuff like that, if black people did not actually watch it and did not buy their merchandise, maybe they will sit here and change. I feel like it's trash that college teams, I think the only person that had sat here and passed that law or that bill was Florida or something like that, where they're gonna pay their athletes after all what they do for their body and how much money y'all make off these athletes in college. Why are y'all just not paying them? Like, that, make it make sense.
But I don't think they put it in to pay them to play ball. I think what they put in to pay them for was using their characters on those PlayStation and Xbox games.
That and like the merchandise and stuff like that they sell. Another thing that a lot of people don't know is the Constitution classified us, basically black people, as cattle for the longest. I think it's still in the Constitution that we're classified as cattle when they sat here and made the amendment rights or whatever. We're not even classified as people. We're classified basically like animals. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Something that people can sit here and own. We are, I think, 3/4 of cattle or something like that that's in the Constitution and stuff like that when it was wrote in. These laws in some states are still not changed. So while y'all sitting here protesting and all this and all, I need you to change laws. I need all this stuff to be changed. I don't foresee it coming, but I'm not gonna sit here and speak it into existence.
It's just certain stuff like that should still be changed, in my opinion.
It just shows you how people actually value black people in this society, in this world. Like, I feel like that's something that's problematic, that we're classified as basically animals.
Tragic. All goes back tied into your social security number.
No, nothing else, sir? Also, I was gonna sit here and talk about President Lincoln. He's the one that passed the bill to stop slavery. If y'all don't know, he didn't just pass the bill to stop slavery. Well, he passed the bill to stop slavery and stuff like that. And it really wasn't to stop slavery. It was more so a union thing that it was. And a lot of people didn't want to, like, the states in the South didn't want to have to become a union and stuff like that. So on top of him wanting to be a union,
Yeah. What Lincoln did when he was president, you know how bills are supposed to go here, there, get passed and all of that. Lincoln took it upon himself to do a presidential order and signed it himself to give us that freedom. You feel what I'm saying? It was the Emancipation Proclamation is what it was, and that was the bill passed to free slaves or whatnot. And so that goes back into what you was just saying.
so that's pretty much all I was gonna sit here and say as far as with that. And coincidentally, imaginatively, not only did the South not want to sit here and vote for a president, because all the people up north and all that stuff did vote or whatever for Lincoln or whatever, and the South, that's why the South is so bad as far as with racism. But the South didn't want to sit here and do that because they didn't want to sit here and lose their slaves. They didn't want to sit here and lose their free labor and all that type of stuff. But with that being said, like my next topic was just gonna be, I do understand and know Lincoln as an example. All white people are not racist. There was a lot of people back in the day that sat here and was like, you know, that's not right. There was a lot of Christians that felt like it's not right how y'all are treating humans. Y'all should sit here and let them go and let them be. Blah 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 this, blah 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 that. We used to school in the camera.
It was shit, I never moved. It was a lot of people during that Civil War that trained and taught and accepted black people that weren't black. You know what I mean? So it wasn't a bunch of people that were just like, you know what, everybody black is over there. It wasn't. It was set up like that government wise, but there was still people that was like, are y'all really for real right now?
Yeah.
You know, okay, well, cool. And I can't remember the dude's name, but I watched it on the documentary that actually banded the first little infantry unit. And he was white. And he took the black slaves that, you know, volunteered or was voluntold, however it went, in the battle. He led them in the battle, like, let's go get it. This y'all freedom. So, yeah.
So yeah, a lot of people don't know that, but this whole video, but like I said, because I know a lot of other people might get offended because they feel as if we're trying to put guilt on them, and it's just a lot of reasons why white people be offended when race get talked about and what their ancestors did and stuff like that. I don't care. I understand that all white people are not racist. I have some white friends, like, it's not that, but I also look at those same people away when we having protesting and we're trying to get our rights and stuff like that, and they're not doing nothing. They're not protesting, they're not donating to a cause, they're not doing anything like that. And I also look sideways of black people that don't do the same thing for their own community but sit here and holler about injustice. Also, a lot of people in general don't know, like, far as with the Muslim and people like that, they get a different type of last name or a different name or whatever, and you know, you had that whole black name, white name stuff, and people be like, well, this name is ghetto. The name is not necessarily ghetto, the name is just African or of anything else other than white America. Our ancestors or slaves or whatever, after the slavery, like,
Oh, blaze go.
during the slavery times and the slavery era and stuff like that, slave owners named their slaves after them. That's how you have black people with the last name Smith, Wallace, Williams, and stuff like that. And you see white people with the same last name as black people. At some point in time in history, their grandpa, whoever might have been owned by was owned by a slave. That's how they got their name as that. So you just born, you kept if you keep your dad last name, which, let's just say, to make it easy, let's just say his J dad was a slave or whatever, and the slave master gave him the last name of Smith or last name of Williams or whatever. So now when that slave do have kids, that person's name is gonna be whatever Williams Junior, and then it go from generation to generation to generation. Yeah. We don't even so much as have our own names, like, and that name's ghetto. The name's not ghetto. The name could be African. You have Arabic names that are different. You have other cultures like Ling, like Chinese people name. It's different. Ling Lang, Shutung Li, whatever, like Lee and all that stuff. Like they have weird names, but do we sit here and call their names ghetto? No. So why when black people have an African last name or African name is ghetto? Or you can't pronounce it. Cut the crap. But that's just something that people don't know. I feel like also are you gonna touch on anything with the last name? Mm-mm. The light skin, dark skin little thing that people be talking about far as with slavery and stuff like that. I just feel like the slave owners knew to divide us, and we have hate for each other from way back then. It's like a lighter skinned people could stay in the house and have the easier jobs and blah 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 this, blah 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 that, while the darker skinned people sat here and had to be out in the sun. They had to pick cotton, this that and the third. And it just went on for generation to generation with this light skin dark skin thing. And then if you divide black people with just their skin tone, something that can't nobody control, it is light skins don't like dark skins don't like light skin, and it's rah 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 rah. Even back in the day, you had people that did not sit here and sat here and like black people would go against each other and stuff like that. And that's still going on to this day, which is sad. You have black people killing black people. So we have to sit here and figure out how to love ourselves in order to we have to sit here and build ourselves and love ourselves as a race before we can sit here and say, oh, well, everybody should be kumbaya and loving on each other. We have our own interwork to do with our own race, as is. But yeah. You got anything to say about the light skin, dark skin thing, or the divide in the community, or anything like that?
I mean, out of my life, I've seen it, you know, firsthand from having friends that were lighter and darker, you know, being in the military, and you know, I've heard the jokes and all of that type of stuff, and I always have wondered where it came from until somebody actually told me that came from way back when slavery, like you said, was a thing. You know what I mean? They used to call them house N-word because the lighter people was in the house while the field N-word was working in the field. You know what I mean? And somebody who was of an older, different background told me that. And I was like, well, dang, okay, now I see where it came from. Whereas people today, well, today is worse than what it was when I was younger. When I was younger, it was more jokeful. It really wasn't took to heart like that. You feel what I'm saying? But today, yes, it's very much of a disconnect in the community with that. Like, for real.
Also, I put on here our tax dollars pay for police and schools. Basically, people that are paid by us to not do nothing for us. Like they put in laws, they put in all this stuff, and we're paying for it. Anytime we pay taxes, we're paying for these policemen, we're paying for these teachers, we're paying for all this stuff. When they sit here and do the census, they sit here and see how much they're gonna tax us, to see how much of the money they're gonna take from here and put over here to go over there, so on and so forth. I feel like it's bull, because since I'm not having nothing's happening with me, so I feel like I shouldn't have to pay taxes for y'all, because what do y'all do for me? I shouldn't have to sit here and feel like if I call the police, it's gonna basically get turned. Like what people in authority like to sit here and do is turn around what you said, or turn around the evidence, or write it up however they want to write it up. Like, I honestly do not like police at all. Most of them I don't like. I have not necessarily anything happened to me, but as far as with law enforcement, I have sat here and seen and witnessed so much underhanded bull. You have police, you have crew, you have a lot of crooked police, and people don't like to sit here and believe that the police are crooked, but the justice system is crooked. Like, come on now. Anyway, what do you feel about that? As far as we're paying tax dollars for people that's not even protecting or teaching our kids.
I mean, it's more of a wide scale than that. You know what I mean? We pay taxes on roads that nobody fixes. We pay taxes for these people that sit down here at the state capitol and in other areas. Like, ain't nothing going on. So
Yeah.
it's like, you know what I mean? It's not, to me, it's not, I don't look at it on those two places, even though those
just an
two
example.
places are a part of it. We tax for no reason. Why are you taxing me and then taxing me again at the, you know what I mean? Like, come on now. You already don't want me to have no financial stability. I'm taxed on everything, even the food I go buy.
What do you feel about watching George Floyd basically be nailed on his neck? Like, how did it affect you or any of that? Did it affect you?
Yeah, because, you know, everything his Facebook before his TV, almost damn near that fast, right? So when I saw the video, I was like, man, get that out that neck, you know what I mean? Like, I was heated about it, but it's like, you know, although it's totally illegal, somebody somewhere passing by in the car should have had a brick and just lobbed that motherfucker at that police. Like, I mean, I know it's wrong, and two wrongs don't make it right, but a lot of these people that are dying at the hand of the police are doing so in front of people of their own color. And to tie back into the Black Panther thing, that's what the Black Panthers, they had a presence.
Yeah, they made sure stuff like that didn't happen.
We here with our strap, we policing the police, and this was before people nowadays are policing the police with a phone. They was policing the police with them things, and they was like, look, we trying to make sure no brutality. We ain't gonna bother y'all. Just don't do too much. You know what I mean? But
like I said, since Kim Kardashian want to sit here and let out black people or work with Trump, I feel like she get on her knees like she loves to do and sit here and figure out how to get these 20 Black Panthers that were considered now are terrorists and they're still in prison, get them out, because what did they do other than protest? But that's how long back ago this stuff has been going on. What else would you think, sir?
yeah, it's been going on a minute. Like, it just, to answer the question in short, it just pissed me off because I was like, y'all ain't never gonna stop that, regardless. You know what I mean? And that could have been my neck. So, I mean, that's how I look at it, because every day I walk out my house, regardless of whether I have to worry about the police or whether I have to worry about somebody from way back when, I always got something to worry about when I step out my house. So, I mean, to me, it's like, how many more of this or how much more of this are we gonna have to put, like, in y'all face? You know what I mean? Even when stuff is happening in our city parks where people are peacefully getting together, and you got people that roll up and get into a fight and then start shooting in the crowd, killing kids. Like, that shit is fucked up too. You know what I mean? So it's like, everywhere you turn, on every corner, somebody is leaving here of color for some reason that don't have a damn thing to do with nothing worth a damn. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then the people next that might need to be knelt on, ain't nobody doing nothing about that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, come on now, you got sex offenders, you got all type of people that's out here raping women and hiding people, sex trafficking. Go kneel on one of their necks. Go do something around there. Don't like, come on now, y'all. This whole the excessive force is always, to me, used on people that ain't even being forceful. Now, don't get me wrong, I've seen some videos where people died on the other side of a police gun, and I'm like, boy, you know you had that coming. Common sense should have told you not to try to do that. I mean, because I'm not just one of those tunnel vision ass people that's like, oh, here we go again. It's right here in video format. You reach for a gun, boom, boom, boom. You shooting at the police, they dome you, boom, boom, you gone. Like, come on now, some of that you have to know that it's gonna result like that. You feel what I'm saying? But for the people that get George Floyded, like, that's some bullshit. And that bothered me. That bothered me to my soul. Even before, I didn't even know it was gonna be a protest after that. When I saw that, before it became a worldwide uproar, I was pissed off. Like, dang, man, I can't believe I just watched that happen like that.
Yeah.
So that's my take on that, man.
How does it feel to have a child with autism that likes the police, to know that the very people that he like and could sit here and go run up to probably be the very people that'll kill them and go ahead dinner with their kids.
Yeah, who could potentially kill him. The only way I can, I mean, it don't make me feel good as a father because I know he loves the police. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he loves them because his cartoon characters are so. You feel what I'm saying? His favorite cartoon characters are driving police cars or in police uniform. I understand that. Only thing I can do as a father is teach him how to decipher people's actions and intentions.
But how we gonna teach him that when Julian has autism? Is what I'm saying. Like, do you fear for him? I fear for him when he get older and we're not gonna be there, or he get older and let's just say we pass and he's in the care of somebody else. I've sat here and watched the whole black man get shot on his stomach with his legs up, with his hands up and stuff like that, because he didn't want his patient that had autism that's not going to listen, and he didn't want them to shoot him. Yeah. And they shot and killed him, unarmed, social worker, all that.
Yeah, I seen that too, man. It's just, to me, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, no matter how good you prepare, no matter how good you teach, those options are out there even before this.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So this has not swayed my feelings as far as what I would like for him to learn. It don't scare me no more, don't scare me no less, because when he got here, I was already on that. Being a black father, I was already on that. You feel what I'm saying?
Being a black father, how do you feel about, like, our kids in general, like, in the police? Do you have any fear for them from that? Or, like, what do you feel like? Because I feel like people can sit here, like the Karen little thing going around, you can sit here and say that a black person did this and they automatically gonna take their side. And they automatically gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, yeah, you're this and you're that and all that.
Yeah, and for their sake, hopefully a lot of that is in the process of changing. But I don't fear for my kids at the hands of police. I fear for police at the hands of my kids. That's what I fear. And that's the veteran in me speaking. I don't. Hell no, I don't fear for my kids with no police. I fear the other way around. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I'm all the way over there about mine, and I mean that. Like, you hear people say that after, you know, the situation and oh, you know, I'm turned and all. Beforehand, I was already. That's why I say it didn't sway my decision left or right, because for all three of them, we can turn it. We can turn it into Black Wall Street about mine.
Another part of this I was going to talk about. Do you feel like mixed kids are black, or do you feel like mixed kids are black, or do you feel like they're not nothing to do with this whole Black Lives Matter movement and stuff like that? I kind of already talked about my point in it. I feel like they're black. The black. Well, when you go back, we are the dominant species. We are the dominant race. If I have kids with anybody, you have kids with anybody that's Chinese, Asian, white, whatever, they're gonna be brown. They're gonna think that they're black. They're not gonna sit here and be like, oh, well, if it's a racist person, they're gonna sit here and be like, you just half black. Like, okay, they're gonna still treat them like a black person.
My opinion of that is, if you don't fit the visual bill of being Caucasian in America, you may not be black, you may not consider yourself black, but the world considers you black. Period. If your skin has any type of color to it, you're not on the same page as your peers. You're not looked at the same amongst your peers. I don't know how parents do it. Some parents is, you know, I'm not gonna touch all that because it ain't my place. But some people will have their child damn near at 17, 18 years old, not realizing that they're black until they do a job application, and there is no in between on a job application. And so they have to be like, well, mama, daddy, what do I identify as? If your child has to ask you what race they identify as, you already failed them as a parent. Period.
You feel, what about looting and rioting?
Looting and rioting, to me...
And that's the boys back there playing, if y'all can.
Yeah, they on the tablets. Look, to me... it really, it's a 50-50 thing with me. I'm 50-50 like we, and I'm 50-50 like that's the dumbest shit in the world. Then the 50 of me that's like, we're gonna tear this bitch up if we have to, regardless of whose it is. I don't give a damn, cause I mean, you know, we don't know whose it is, and even if we did, we're gonna tear it up anyway. But the thing about it is, the 50% of me that's like, tear that shit up, is the 50% of me that's speaking emotionally. The 50% of me, if somebody walked up and did something or said something to me that I cannot recover from, I'm going to have an outlash. If I am amongst protesters and I'm not even there to protest, I'm here to tear it up and get it in. You already came down here with that intention. That's going to happen, right? So all of these people that flock to you, those are emotional driven people. They're outraged most of the time, and then some of the time they're just there to go get this free 65-inch TV that they've been wanting to buy they couldn't afford. So the 50% of me that's like, man, that's the only way they're gonna listen, tear it up. That's me speaking from a hurt place, a dark hurt place inside of me as a black man. You know what I mean? Or as a human. Fuck it, it ain't even because I'm black. It's just like, dude, we keep talking and ain't nobody saying nothing. Now y'all stuff getting tore up. Now y'all listening. That's the 50% of me. That's from a dark place. Because the other 50% of me that's like, that's dumb as hell, that's the part of me that's thinking
I feel like
consciously.
it's only dumb to tear up your own community, like your own stores. Now you actually out here tearing up other places. That's different.
Dumb. To me, it's dumb either way, because at the end of the day, even if you're not tearing up your block and you turn up their block or whoever block it is, at the end of the day, that's still taken away from the main message over here. So whether you turn up yours or whether you turn up theirs, it still takes away, and it gives somebody, see, people.
Well, I'm not saying tear up somebody else's block. What I'm saying, if you're gonna sit here and mess up stuff that you don't like that's going on in government, why don't you tear up the government buildings?
That's because they can't get close enough to get to it. They don't want to try. They don't want to make the attempt that they need to make to push on them buildings, because they know them buildings got people on top of them with little bitty things on top of a long ass gun that'll put a hole in your throat from about 3 blocks away. They don't want them problems, and they know that. That's why they go into these places that's closed. Y'all ain't looted or rioted in an open building yet. Guess what? Nobody's there to defend it no way, and you know that. So you take the weakest access point, and that's what you burn up. You don't go into no store that's got people in it and go rioting and looting. You know why? Because that is gonna be met with force. Force is gonna be met with force. So if you like I said, it's I think way deeper than life on some of this shit. But the part of me that's like, it's dumb as hell. The part of me that think consciously about it is it takes away from the message. But now,
how do we take away from the message?
What was open to my eyes is when the media started portraying and telling the truth about, they got busloads of people that come from anywhere and everywhere that are paid to do that. That's what made me understand that y'all taking away from the message because y'all want the media to cover that. Y'all don't want the media to cover the peaceful side, the peaceful stuff, the good conversations. Y'all want the media to see this. And that is the part of me that was like, you know what? That's dumb as hell. But it's smart as hell for the government. You feel what I'm saying?
Alright, y'all, so the battery died, so I'm gonna let Jay finish whatever he's gonna say. I have like one other question. I had like 1 or 2, but he wanna go do something else, so yeah. But what else was you saying?
What? No, I was just saying that I the 50% of me that thinks like, damn, that's messed up, was kind of enlightened by the media saying that it's not the people that's out here trying to get the message, it's the people that are sent here to deter the media for the violence, for the problems. You feel what I'm saying? So that's kind of my thing. It's a 50-50 thing. I should say was, because once the media showed me that, I was like, so them ain't really just my people out there turning stuff up like that, huh? Y'all got organizations inside of this thing messing stuff up for us. Oh, okay. Y'all still trying to put that name on us. Gotcha. So that was my view on that.
So I talked about this a little bit earlier. You know, well, I don't know if you know, but back in the day, it was those 4 girls that got killed by the KKK in the in church or whatever. It was 4 girls that got killed, but it actually was 5 girls there. One of them survived or whatever. She was talking. She was an older lady. She was talking about it. I don't know if she's still living to this day or not. But she kind of was explaining that they was in church. They was doing absolutely nothing. That happened. I find it... I just really don't have no faith in the system, because you have that happen way back in the day. And then you have these white dudes that go in church to get, welcome in with open arms. They're sitting here taking machine guns, killing folks in church. Like, we open the church up for you, this, that, and the third, and you killing us dead. So I feel like this whole kumbaya and all this stuff, like all lives, that's why I don't hit it. Like, y'all ain't the ones that's in danger. These people sit here and go to jail, that the police be giving them water, feeding them steak, acting like they ain't just sit here and kill all these black people in church ups minding their own business. What do you have any take with that?
As far as church killings, is that the question?
Church killings, or just how long ago this been going on, and how protests and stuff like that hasn't been doing nothing, and it's just basically history steady repeating itself.
Well, as far as I speak on the mass killings at church. It's saddening. You feel what I'm saying? Because the people who died actually went there to pray for protection, pray for peace, and all of that type of stuff. And somebody walks in and ultimately disturbs all of that within a few minutes.
Yeah.
It's sad as hell, and to walk into a church where you just about can almost bank on it, not no more, but at that point in time you could almost bank on nobody in there having a weapon to defend themselves. You feel what I'm saying? So it's to me, it's a sad situation. I find it very, very disturbing that people pick a church. And as far as history repeating itself with the protests not doing anything and all of that, I kind of feel like right now, present day in America, I've watched a few documentaries of protests, and some things did come from those protests, but I feel like this one is different than the other ones in the past. And maybe we might see something out of it. I don't know what, but I feel like history is only going to repeat itself so many times before change has to happen. And I feel like we are on the edge of that change, whatever that change may be. So all we can do is keep living if we can and see.
Also, what I was going to touch on is the fact that the media loves to sit here and portray black people as like thugs and this and that. I feel like media, this was touched on kind of like in a documentary as far as with the Jim Crow law rules and stuff like that. And also as far as with media, the only time that black people are in the media, if it's not that we're thugs and this, that, and the third, is whenever y'all have like comedians, like they was reference to, who was that, Eddie Murphy or whatever, and other people like that sit here and demasculate themselves to be funny, put on wigs and stuff like that. Like, that's entertaining for them to sit there and see. I don't like that. I don't like far as how the media sit here and try to sit here and say that y'all sit here, when it comes to black people, y'all put kids' mug shots up there. Y'all sit here and pull up our old history, tweets that people have made. But when white people sit here and do something, it's like, and it comes out, it's like, oh, I have changed and I was young and I was dumb. But if a cop killed a black person, y'all want to bring up a black person whole past, like the Trayvon Martin when he had on the New York stuff. I think he was throwing up gang signs. I'm not sure. But when y'all want to bring that up, what does that have to do with this man killed this man, shot him in his back, and he was unarmed and had Skittles and a tea? Nothing. So, like, I don't like how media sit here and spread that. And what I don't like, far as trying to portray black people like we're just straight thugs, my thing is with this, and it's my opinion, and it's my point of view or my view with this is we're the thugs. Because I feel like media and some white people like to sit here and spin a narrative. They like to sit here and try to reverse psychology. They sit here and try to say that you do it so that you can't say that they did it. And like they try to reverse it around and flip it around and all that type of stuff. Manipulate like the whole situation. So I just want to know, what do black people do other than that doesn't make an argument with each other? Because the real thugs are people that sat here and kidnap black people for them to build property. The real thugs are the people that sit here and rape little kids and get out and they just go on a sex, they go on a registry and stuff like that. The real thugs to me are the people that sitting here still having laws where you can sit here and hunt black people in certain states and get away with it. The real thugs are the people that sat here and had slaves and kept them like they are how we keep a pit bull chained to the back or something like that, and take their ideals. So that's stealing, rape, kidnap. The real thugs are people that sat here in slavery days and still to this day rape people, got black women pregnant, rape black men. Those to me are thugs. So I don't even understand how this narrative of black people being thugs when we're the most forgiving people there is, and we're the people that sit here and like, well, we don't see no skin tone, we don't see no color, we are nice to people, we welcome them in, we welcome y'all into our church, y'all kill us. We can't sit in our own house without y'all killing us. Breonna Taylor was sitting here minding her own business, killed her. They still haven't been tried. Y'all passed a little law, cute. Warrant these police officers that sat here and served a warrant on somebody that was already in jail. Why they're not getting charged? But yet that same black dude that was sitting in his house or sitting with his girlfriend's house that sat here and shot back at y'all because they did not announce themselves. They didn't do none of that stuff. Like, nah, I'm just not here for that whole black people are thugs mentality when certain white people have the history of being thugs. Y'all, they're the thugs. Like, don't sit here and say, oh, well, they had this picture, they was doing this in their picture, so they're thugs, and they're this and they're that, blah, 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 that. That's just how y'all want to sit here and manipulate it. And that's why social media and media, the news outlets, they sit here and show a black man, oh, well, this happened, blah, 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 this happened. Not saying that black people don't do some problematic trash stuff, but I just don't like how it's spent towards black people to make us look like we're the bad people, we're the wrong people, and oh my god, we shouldn't want them in here. And I also don't like to hear certain white people say that, well, if they wanted different, they wanted to change, they would just get out of poverty, they would just do this and they would just do that. Or Kanye West trash self sit here and say, oh, well, I feel like slavery was a choice. Well, if the slavery, that doesn't even make sense. It's just like a trash logic. And if like you think, most people probably would think, why didn't the slaves just leave? Where did they go? Where was they going to be able to go that they feel like they actually was going to have freedom? So, I mean, make this make sense to me. Like, it don't, and it probably won't. It was something else I was going to talk about, but I forgot. You got anything else to say with anything of what I just said?
Aside from the fact that the government is the biggest thugs there is.
Yeah, also Reagan is the biggest though. Like, Reagan messed up a lot of society in America.
Yeah, government for sure. I mean, it starts from the top to the bottom. It don't really work from the bottom up. It works from the top down. Shit always rolls downhill. So, I could say 2 hours probably worth of stuff concerning that, but being that I have a background, I cannot. But yeah, the government is the biggest thugs around.
Anyway, like I said, I forgot what else I was gonna say because I was gonna say something else in that whole little thing. This will be a live premiere if you guys made it this far, because it's probably like an hour-long video. If you made it this far, I appreciate you guys for watching it or whatever. See you guys on the next video. Don't forget to go subscribe to Jay's Place and Hooked on Autism.
Still waiting on y'all.
Yeah, and this video was long because I was gonna chop it up, and then part 1 part I didn't feel like doing it. I just put it in the whole video. So for the people that wanted to vote it for me to make this video, this is this video. This is how I feel, or this is my speaking out about it. This is my speaking out about it as far as a black person, as far as we're having black kids and stuff that I have seen, historical stuff that I have seen now in today's time. It's just so much stuff, and this video will be long if I actually covered other things that have happened to black people as far as back in the day that's still happening to them, as far as with the syphilis, the HIV, all that other type of stuff. So I'm not even gonna sit here and cover all it here, so or right now. But appreciate you guys for watching. See you guys in the next video. Be blessed.